It was. We talked a couple times about Norm and waiting for him to pop a big one. How significant and how glad are you we finally had one?
Well, we needed them all, right, Doug? And again, I think there's a few buckets from Marc. Serge has a nice little run. Norm's got a 20-point game, which we've counted on those throughout the year, right? All those guys chipping in, and that's when we're going to be at our best, and we need to be at our best to beat this team.
And we've spoken so much time about Kyle's leadership. Tonight he seemed to, every time he needed a big shot, he'd step back and made a 27-footer or got an and one or made a pass. It just sort of, is it almost becoming, we used to seeing him make great plays in big games?
Well, I mean, Doug, that's what the great players do, right? It's what the tough players do, the great players do, and he is, man. He's a great one. He's fun to watch. He's the ultimate competitor. Toughness and he steps into it. He's not afraid of the moment, right? Made some big ones for sure. Played great.
Thanks, Nick. As always, appreciate it.
All right, Doug. See you, man.
You got it.
I'm going to go next to Tim Reynolds from the Associated Press, who's there in person.
Hi, Nick. You were only down, I don't know how many times, down first overtime, down second overtime, to slow start again. What's it say about this group? I mean, I know you've been raving about them all year. I get that. But this is the ultimate moment, too. And they answered not one bell, but like 30 of them.
Well, I think it hasn't been easy, Tim, for a lot of reasons. And again, I just don't think that there's been a couple games where we haven't played at all, right? There's been segments of games where we're just not playing very well. We're just not ourselves during big. So it's hard to kind of keep hanging in there on some of that kind of feel. And I thought the first half felt really weird too. We just didn't have a great feel or a rhythm or a connectivity. But we hung in to, 4 points maybe somehow. Serge kind of come in and banged a bunch to keep us going. And then I thought we played very well the second half. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of did their normal thing. And we were right there and played great. Yep.
Going to go next to Josh Lewenberg from TSN.
Hey, Nick, pretty clear from the get-go of the series, maybe even before the series, how much respect you guys both have for each other, both teams. How fitting is it then that this will go the distance, especially coming off of a game like the one you guys just played?
Well, I would have thought, Josh, that going at the start of the series, or I don't know, just the start of the playoffs, even before, if you'd have thought, if Boston and Toronto get on a collision course, it's going to be a hell of a series. I don't know. We almost didn't make it one, because of our play a couple times, and obviously we've won a couple close ones, But we got a good series. We got a game 7. Let's see what happens.
I also want to ask you about OG in the small lineup. Obviously, great defense and a couple big shots. How important was the rebounding specifically to allow you guys to play small as long as you did?
Yeah, he was good. I thought he was guarding. I thought he was fighting. And he's in some scenarios that he's not in that much, Josh. So he did make. He was doing the best he could in some of them. With some of the help and whatever, protecting the rim, which not really his thing. But you're right, he did rebound well. I just thought he competed, didn't shy away from the moment, and was good on offense too.
Thanks, Nick. Have a good night.
Welcome, John. Too.
Going to go next to Mike Ganter from the Toronto Sun.
Hey, Nick, congrats. Want to ask you about coming into the second half. Marc hits that 3, and it looked like his teammates were as excited as he was that he got it. I mean, how game changing was that one play?
I think it was very game changing, Mike. We love Marc and what he brings us, right? A passing big, a defending big, a tough guy, an IQ guy. And he can score, man. He can shoot. He can space the floor for us. And he just hasn't, there's nothing nothing good's happened for the guy. So when he did bang that shot in, I think everybody knew it was a big boost for him. I mean, heck, the guys, as you can tell, when something like that happens in their reaction, you can tell how much they love him. You know what I mean? How much they care about him. And I think that just gave us all a little boost for the whole second half.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Next question goes to Eric Corrine from The Athletic.
Hey, Nick, thanks for taking the time. You mentioned it a bit when you were talking about OG. You didn't go small that often this year, except sort of when absolutely necessary. What was the thought process going in, and what you made that change, and how pleased were you with how they competed?
Well, the thought process going in has been about 3 games in the making. I've been talking about doing it and getting to it for a long time. And I just had never found that or pulled the trigger until we got way down the other night. And this gives us a little bit better chance to guard them. That's the main thing. You know, it's tough when Kemba's so fast, and it's hard for our bigs sometimes to keep up with him when they're up, and because he can shoot the 3, you got to be up. And then if you creep up too far, he darts by you. So it's hard to play some standard pick and roll coverages, and that's kind of where we got to it from, Eric.
Specifically about Norm's role in that lineup. I mean, not only on offense, but he's had some history as an inconsistent defender. Maybe he made a huge play on Tatum late before his bucket. What does it say that he was able to hang in that situation and be a very useful member of that group?
Yeah, he did great, Eric. I mean, you're right. He just was solid, and that's all we need him to be. Execute the schemes, solid, tough. Grab some help with the rebound because he is very athletic. He can rebound, and I thought Norm was a huge difference in the game. To be honest, both ways.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Eric.
Going to go next to Michael Grange from Sportsnet.
Hey, Nick, those post-ups that Kyle had over Kemba in the double overtime kind of turnarounds in the lane, are those completely his call, or is that something maybe it's a little something you've been sitting on a little bit, or is that just him sort of seeing something in the moment and let's see if we can get a bucket?
Yeah, I mean,
I presume you're not calling post-ups for Kyle.
I mean, we weren't really calling set plays for that, Michael, no, but we were doing some other things.
Yeah. But I mean, is it kind of an advantage, I guess? I mean, it certainly worked. It's a way to get a bucket.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kyle's got a good post-up turnaround game. We used to post him a lot a couple years ago, and we just kind of haven't done that as much anymore. But he found a few tonight. He found a few just kind of middle of the floor ISOs, and obviously made some huge ones, right? Especially the last one. Holy smokes, that was a tough one.
It was. Thanks, Nick. Have a good night.
You too, Michael.
Going to do 3 more for you, Coach. First one goes to John Schumann from NBA.com.
Hey, Coach. Before that Smart missed 3 at the very end, all 4 of your stops in the second OT were hands plays, where Fred stripped Brown in transition, and there was the play you challenged. Kyle stripped Brown on a back down, and then Norm knocking the ball, Tatum's dribble out. I'm curious, as a coach, do you coach handsiness like that? I mean, I know it's a characteristic of your team, but I wonder if it's something that you emphasize yourself.
I mean, yeah, John, we're trying to get our hands in and break up handoffs, and if we think we got a chance to strip the ball. Sometimes when you're smaller, you're down there, right? And they got these guys trying to post you up and shoot over the top of you, and once they turn around, it's kind of maybe your last line of defense, right? Because if they get it up, they're going to be over the top of you. So it's kind of, and we're just trying to survive sometimes out there too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, we go into Andrew Lopez from ESPN.
Hey, Coach. I know I'm kind of an unfamiliar face or voice in these Zooms, but in my normal life as a Pelicans writer, that Norman Powell play at the end of the overtime looked a little bit familiar to me. Just kind of, what do you say? What does that say about the confidence that you have in him to draw that up at that point, going back to that first play?
Well, everybody was all over me the first game of the year. How was I going to give Norman Powell the game-winning shot on the opening night? And I was trying to, he can vault up and score. He's a guy that can create his own and vault up and score. I thought there with the last one, I thought he would get a decent matchup and he'd get a shot off. I mean, you got to hold it till the end. It's a low percentage situation, but you can't move it around. You can't turn it over, right? You can't shoot it too early or they're going to time out and get a chance to beat you, right?
Right.
But I love knowing, man. I think he can vault up and score. That's why I went to him.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Final question is going to go to Bruce Arthur from the Toronto Star.
Nick, you talked about how those shots from Serge kind of got you going a little bit in the second quarter, how Marc finally finding the range in the third quarter gives you a boost. All season, this team has kind of operated on a collective belief and trust, and it's just such a collective unit. In a game like this, how much do you need all those little pieces and all like Norm and everything Kyle gives you and everything Fred gives you, and just all the way to the end, just to keep the belief going? And when in the first half you didn't always look like you had it.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Bruce, like, listen, we're at a stage where the stakes are super high, right? And only good teams can win at this stage. And for us to be good, we've got to, we've talked about, we've got to have those little contributions all over the place. Not huge ones, but like they were tonight, 10 here, 8 there, 12 here, Norm with a big game. We need that, because that's kind of how we've decided to play. That everybody should be a threat on offense, and everybody can contribute, and everybody can shoot the ball. So we need everybody to do that.
Of all the guys who had kind of a tough night, even Pascal hits that shot in the double overtime where he turns and he just shoots it, right? He doesn't hesitate. He just strokes it. I know he's been under so much pressure. He's struggled as much as he has, and everyone can see it. You said you wanted to get one more to give him a chance, right? To give him a chance to redeem himself again or whatever it is. Do you think you saw anything that it's there? Do you know what I mean?
I'm not saying it's there, Bruce, but it's getting closer. There's a possibility that it could be there when the ball goes up Friday.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep.
Coach, sorry, Andrew Lopez just had one real quick one for you.
Okay.
Sorry, and hey, this is kind of coming. Jaylen Brown just in their availability just now said that emotions were getting high, and he kind of said things seem to get out of hand at times, especially pointing toward the coaching staffs. Do you think that anything was out of line with how you guys were necessarily acting tonight?
No. We're just competing, Andrew.
I got you. Just wanted to get your thoughts on it. That's all. Thanks, Coach.
No problem. Thanks.